I'm going to ask Thea Prince to open this up with the Pledge of Allegiance. Y'all stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, if you'd call the roll, Bobby.
Present.
Here. Here.
Here.
Kevin George.
Here.
Tony Neal.
Here.
Kevin Mooneyham.
Here.
Bob Smith.
Here.
8 here and 2 left.
Well, if they were going to be absent, this is one meeting that's good to be absent because there's not that much to do on the agenda. So,
Duke plays Kentucky at 8:30, so we
okay,
can.
we'll be out of here.
I've got a city council.
We've never been through
meeting
that quick. I don't know.
Okay, I sent you a summary of the last meeting like I always do, and there is only one thing that I wanted to comment on, and that was, y'all read it, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Was there any questions that you have on it?
I just got one. I don't remember us discussing about forming a committee to form a Homeland Security committee. I remember doing away with it and saying that we were going to form another Homeland Security
Right, we went ahead.
committee, but I didn't remember saying that we were going to form a committee to do that.
I don't either.
There wasn't,
Wasn't going to be no committee
No.
because we were just going to
We
do
were
that.
going to do that.
Right.
Okay, if you would,
That's the only thing that I seen that.
should we correct that, Bobby, or?
I thought they was gonna wait till the next year before we form the committee on that way.
No, we're going to be next
do it
meeting.
tonight.
We was gonna do it tonight.
Yeah. Okay, then on the other that I have here, where it says the commission heard a motion to disband the current Homeland Security Committee, and that's where Neil was talking about, will be named to set up a new committee framework at the November meeting. So there's not any committee as far as that goes. Of course, Roy was here and he did it. We had asked, a motion was made by Kevin George to send all the information on Fay Morse to the comptroller's office. The motion was seconded by Jim Bush. An amendment was out the motion, and this was correspondence to the comptroller will be directed to Director of 911, which is Roy Sullivan. Now, Roy, can you update just an overview?
Yes, sir. At this point in time, it'd be inappropriate for me to make any comments on the comptroller's office and their status at this time. It's their position that they're not going to discuss it, nor are they going to offer an opinion, so I'm just going to leave it at that.
Okay.
Until they're done with the group.
Until they're done. Now, getting closer to home as far as this, we had, and Jim Bush was one of them, where he made the motion to be able to tell the county executive to get rid of to strip Fay Morse of her position, and he says this, not ask but tell. That's what you said, Jim. Well, I went and I told the executive about that, and he says that unless we can prove to him that she was morally or illegally doing something, he's not getting rid of nobody. So I reckon what we're going to have to do is get the equipment back ourselves and just either get a detainer to where it goes. I don't know that Mike Corley even entertained something like that. But if y'all are wanting to be able to take that equipment, set it up at 911 right now, we're going to have to do it because Mike's not going to do it.
Well, I got a gentleman that's donated his services to get all of it and it wouldn't cost the county a penny.
Well,
If that's what you want to do.
no, it's not what I want to do, it's what the commission wants to do on it.
You've got to be legal.
We're waiting on the comptroller to give us a better legal footing to stand on.
Okay, is that what you want?
That's what I started to say. Let's wait and see what the comptroller finds out and then go from there.
That might be a year ago. What was the purpose of doing all this?
But what?
What was the purpose of doing all this?
To make it legal.
Turn it over, yeah.
I would think the purpose of doing it was to make the people safe.
Yeah.
That was Roy's biggest concern. Was that the people aren't the response time and all the equipment that nobody can get to. So if we wait on the comptroller's office, then all the equipment's still sitting there and we still got the same safety issue.
I think that that man that unfortunately had to kill his son, they had to call out a big gator to be able to get up there to it. And I think Grady Jr. had taken the one that he's got and went down there. Most of the stuff that I get from people anyway is
I think the rescue squad did that.
Yeah, he was up there though. He had a gator up there.
anyway. I'm also with Jim Bush and Kevin on this. We can say we can wait for the comptroller, but we had what made us suspicious that something was not going right, and that's where we exercise our positions to be able to say, hey, we want to change that because we think that it's not going right. Therefore, I think, in my opinion, that we should gather up all that equipment and take it to the 911 center, and let's get out a list. Now, Roy, you said you had a list of everything that Faye had, right? I mean,
That I can gather.
it came from Homeland Security.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it wasn't what we tried to gather up here.
That's correct.
Okay, it was that. So we have a complete list of what needs to come up to the 911 center.
Would you say it's really not a complete list, but it's,
Oh, I'd say it's far from complete.
That's what I thought.
That's the problem. If I may, Mr. Chairman, this is kind of a two-part problem, is you can take all this equipment and just stage it somewhere, but your Homeland Security Committee is what's going to determine what equipment goes where and gets it ready for a quick response. So we've got some things that are kind of missing at this point that need to be taken into consideration.
Yeah, and you're talking about the Homeland Security that we disbanded.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we need to get something in force tonight. Do you have any recommendations?
I think it needs to be a representative from every agency in the county.
How many representatives?
may I
Just
step,
one representative from every the agency head.
Go ahead, Jim.
may I make a suggestion? Kevin Mooneyam, which he's the chief of police in Woodbury, Darrell Young, which is the sheriff, Michael Underhill, which he is the fire chief, Bill Johnson, which he's the fire chief of Woodbury, Tim Bale, and then Roy Sullivan, which he's the director of 911. How does that sound?
How many is that, Jim?
Municipality will need to be represented. as
All right,
well as,
who's
EMS.
the? Chris Black. Chris Black.
I think the director for EMS needs to also be represented.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I would think so.
EMS,
EMS.
Yeah,
Ricky Cope.
Ricky Cope.
that'd be Ricky Cope, yeah.
Okay.
The old one had highway department head on it, if that matters.
I think it does.
I was thinking the highway department, I was thinking maybe the electric company needs to have somebody on it, the gas company needs to have somebody on it, you
The
know.
phone or the electric was not on the old one, but.
I know they wasn't, but they would be a good idea though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
Who was and
Yeah.
what. We've also got a,
All right, we've got Ricky Cope, Alan Pascal, John Barker from Middle Tennessee Electric. All right, phone company.
I'm not saying put the electric or the phone on there, I'm just telling you, they weren't on there.
Right.
Now, y'all,
Mr. Sullivan.
I would think a representative from every major utility should be on there.
Okay.
Yeah, electric
Yeah,
would be a
that's
good
what I'm
idea to
thinking.
put
Yeah,
down.
I know.
Okay.
The electric and the gas company, yeah.
Natural gas?
Who's the head of the gas?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's something we're gonna have to find out. Just put down Middle Tennessee Natural Gas needs a representative, and the DeKalb Telephone needs a representative. And we'll find out who was willing to represent them. If not, we're gonna get in the same shape that we're in, have a big, long committee, and you can't
And
get enough
nobody
people
show
to have
up,
a
yeah.
quorum.
Right.
Right.
Can't
See,
get
if you've
it.
got a dozen people, and won't, 5 of them show up,
Yeah, that's what I
you're better
would,
off with just 6 people.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, you're not gonna overload Mr. Underhill with another duty, are you? Because he's fire chief and,
Michael, do you have a problem with being on this? Okay.
I mean, it's not gonna overload you with more duty to do what the question is.
Yeah, Jonathan, who's over the gas company?
My supervisor is Charles Morrison. He's out of that
Out of my memory. Who's down here, do you know?
I'm the main guy down here.
You're the main guy down here?
There's the answer.
Okay,
Let him be on it. Will you
Jonathan,
serve on
Will you
it?
serve on it?
okay. Jonathan Spurlock.
These people from the utilities are just for their knowledge, you see,
Right.
about, which lines go where, how you could cut off something if it needs to be cut
Well,
off,
if you
or
got a-
turn it on if it needs to be
If you
turned
got a
off.
countywide disaster and you got lines down,
Right.
you're gonna need these folks
Need
to get
all-
in contact
that's right.
with.
That's exactly right. And they all go through all their drills for emergencies anyhow, and they've already got contingency plans.
What about the medical? You had Mr. Rowland on here.
That was Ricky Cope, I think they said, wasn't it?
For EMS, yeah.
EMS, Ricky. We're getting enough. If we don't-
Yeah, I was gonna say, pass that list up here, Jim, if you don't mind.
That's an idea.
How many that got on it?
Spurlock, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
All right, that's an odd number.
Yeah, that's
And
an
if you
odd
get,
number, yeah.
If you can
Well,
get 6
when-
here, you've got a over.
When you put DTC, that makes it 12.
Okay.
Well, then, all right, you got 12, then you still got Fay as being the director as of right now.
That puts you at
That's
13.
Right, that makes 13, yeah.
Might be a good idea to contact these people, see if they wanna do it too.
Well,
Or have somebody that will. Now, as far as the department's head of the sheriff and the city and all that, Bill Johnson and Michael Underhill, Tim Dale, Mr. Sullivan, the only ones we'll have to look at is DTC, Middle Tennessee Electric. Of course, we got the gas, and they'd have to have some type of representative, Middle Tennessee and DeKalb. Is that right?
how many did we have on last time?
14 or 15, 1, 2, 3. 14 or 15. I've got one written in here, and I don't know if it substitutes for somebody else or not.
Yeah,
It's 14.
You had Michael Underhill.
I've got Michael Underhill written in.
What about Roy Sullivan?
Roy's in here. Right there.
Okay.
Darrell and Tim. Alan Bush. Pascal.
Who was chairman on the old one?
Fay, yeah, that'd be,
Did they not have any meetings? Or?
No.
Who?
Few and far between.
Gannon was the chairman.
Gannon was?
And some things the executive of anything or president of anything be chairman of committees.
So Mike Gannon was really the chairman?
I don't know.
No
Does
idea.
it tell
'Cause
them?
it doesn't say, it just lists him. It don't say who the chairman
Was
was.
he at the meetings?
Well, once.
What's that?
Well, I mean,
He's the
if-
chairman. Did he call him?
Let's see, y'all weren't called, were you,
Well,
Roy?
Make sure they
Did
got
you
a
say
chairman
something
that can call
about the
the
fact
meeting to be
that,
there.
well, that'll be up to them.
y'all
for
weren't
them
called
to-
for
Yeah.
any meetings or what?
No, sir, we voted in the February meeting on who the chairman was gonna be and who the secretary was gonna be, because that had never been officially established. We established that in the February meeting.
Hey,
The next 2 meetings after that, I made sure and arranged, as the secretary, make sure it happened. After that, I let the chairman take care of it. He didn't call any more meetings after that.
All right, well, if we
But
do,
it's ultimately the chairman's responsibility.
if we redo the board, then it's up to the board to come up with your chairman, secretary, and so on.
Yes, sir.
Y'all gonna
Okay,
elect
so-
one that'll be at the meeting?
yeah,
Right,
that's what I think.
okay? Is that right, gentlemen? Tim?
If you call me up there, I'll speak. If you recognize me,
Come on.
if the chairman recognizes me.
Yeah, I'll recognize you, Tim. Come on up.
Or I'll tell you my opinion.
Come on up. We just decided that we're gonna push it till about 8:29 or whatever it is.
I'm thinking 8:15.
8:15, okay.
I'm out here at 6:55.
Yeah, no, I'll be brief. I'll answer any question you ask me. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. We had some meetings. Let's see how I can put this. They were
Just
pretty much
spit it out.
non-productive meetings.
There you go.
There was very little accomplished. And what questions would you like to know?
Well, what I'm asking right now, this is the main question. After we form the new board,
Yeah.
then it'll be up to y'all to do your chairman, secretary, and so on.
If you guys invest that authority into the board, into the committee, then it can work that way.
Okay.
Yes. As the legislative body of the county, I would believe that if you guys invest the power to that committee and charge them with a set of guidelines to do, then that committee will work on the behalf of the county productively. Under its current or its former structure, it was impossible to do that, my opinion.
Well, that's what we're trying to get at, Tim. And of course, every one of y'all that are in this emergency, and always have been, in the business of coming out to the county and putting yourself in the line of danger. You came up here looking like you're a little mad you wanted to say it. Well, I'm going to tell you, we don't need to pussyfoot around. You need to tell us what the problem were. You said, well, we could never get anything done. Now, tell us why, and then tell us how that you're going to be able to get something done.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know that I can do that in the time frame that you asked.
Will the board that we've got lined out there,
Well,
will that get
you're
anything
asking
done?
my opinion?
Yeah.
My opinion is that for the best interest of public welfare, a diverse committee that can work together will be the benefit to the county.
Will that board do that?
In my opinion, yes, I believe.
All right, we'll give it back to Bob and let's vote on it.
Let's go.
That's right.
I mean, I got a question before we vote on it, though. We also discussed putting EMA and Homeland Security together. Are we still gonna do that? Every other county that you look up, it always says Homeland Security / EMA. They're not separate. They're together.
You need to put them together, because if you don't, you're gonna wind up with
Well, that's my opinion. I
Two
think we
votes
ought to
on
put
that.
them together.
You're going to wind up with what?
2 votes on that board.
Let's make it work.
Okay.
Take on whoever you want, leave off whoever you want. Doug, are we heading down the right way? Have you heard anything that would get us in trouble?
Have you guys looked at, see if there's any executive order from the governor or anything that stipulates the makeup of the committee?
No, we haven't.
I double check with that. I mean, I can look that up for you.
Did you not bring your,
This thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't found anything yet. As far as that, there's makeups, there's executive orders from the governor on makeups of the state committees and the regional committees. I don't know, Tim, or you guys know anything really about, is there a state?
I haven't been able to find anything. The only thing I can find gives the county commission the authority.
Okay, that I'm not aware of.
Because
There's a
it's a county
statutory
committee.
makeup of that. That's why I can't tell you one way or the other.
well, in an emergency type situation where this has become one like that, then I think it would fall on the commission. And then if something went wrong and the governor wanted to say, hey, I don't like it that way, do this, well, then we can do that. But as far as I've read, just like you, we're the main ones.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, one thing that I don't know if everybody realizes on this, but the original Homeland Security Committee was created by our emergency management here in Cannon County. It was approved by the county commission at some point. It was So it's not like we're just trying to create something that's new. We're just modifying it to make it productive.
You're just
Right.
trying to fix something that's broke.
Exactly.
Right,
Let's fix it.
let's fix it, I say the same thing.
Can I
Did-
make a comment? I've done a lot of research on that too. I cannot find anything about the rules governing the Homeland Security committee,
The who now?
like Doug was saying. I think the reason Tommy had me research it was the concern was that right now EMA has a budget. They make a budget for who
Would that be
oversees,
considered that?
and he wanted Homeland Security, the whole committee, to be able to oversee that budget.
Yeah, thank you, Tracy.
It should.
Did you get all
That's
the
why I was saying
names,
put it
Cynthia?
together.
Now, are we, EMS, who's on that board?
I'm on the EMS board. Or on the ambulance committee, I'm
All
sorry.
right, that's,
I think I'm on the ambulance committee.
Yeah, you are too.
Yeah.
well, we'll just infuse both of them.
But that won't get you EMA combined.
No, not EMS, Jim.
No,
We're talking about the EMA.
EMA.
Too many letters.
Well, we need to make this, set this board up, and then we'll make a motion to combine the EMA and Homeland Security departments as one department.
That's one, yeah.
It's the will of us.
Okay.
There you
That's what
go.
I thought.
You find it, yeah.
Okay.
Then when we combine those two,
We can combine them.
What's that?
The EMA and Homeland Security.
I don't know, but I know a lot of counties have like a public safety committee. I know you got a
Yeah.
Homeland Security committee for the
Right.
grant reasons, but I'll look into that too. and I'll-
Every time you look up, like Tracy was saying on the computer, you always run across Homeland Security / EMA. They're all one
All right, who's on the
thing,
EMS?
so.
I see a lot of that, but I'll check.
Ray Morris,
we're talking about,
Right.
Grady
That's
George,
what I'm saying.
Who's on him?
Who's on?
who is members of the EMA?
Yeah.
Shoot, a lot of these guys on.
I didn't bring my satchel that had everything on
I
it.
didn't bring my committee list either.
Yeah,
There is no EMA committee.
There's not an EMA committee.
Right.
yeah, it's just an ambulance
You just had an
committee.
EMA
that's it.
director, and whoever that director had help,
Wants to be on the, yeah.
and that's the way it worked.
We're not talking about an EMA committee, we're talking about who is EMA.
That's what we're talking about.
Patty Morris.
There's no members on EMA, but they and a lot of the east side folks
Short Mountain Fire Department doesn't have any EMA members?
No.
Moortown?
do.
Bradable?
Grady and Fay,
All right, let's just do it this way.
So any response has to come out of Gasway or East Side.
Yeah.
East side.
I would like to make,
It is Brad.
I would like for y'all to think about this at one time.
Well-
While we're doing this, Jim, excuse me. You know, we say that we're gonna let the Homeland Security Committee get all theirs together. And they're the ones that are gonna design it for them. At this time, though, a temporary, like Roy, would be something to have. Until y'all get your structure on the Homeland Security, we'll have the questions and everything else go to Roy. He can set up a time that they can all meet together. We just have to have a little bit of a figurehead, before we do anything.
We need a temporary chair.
A temporary, yeah, pro tem, whatever, temporary. Can you take that on your schedule? Okay. It'll be, he'll just be temporary chairman until the committee gets all together, and some of them might not want to be on it. And that's where you as a committee should also figure out who needs to go on it. Okay? All right. Jim, you got a motion?
You need to call off those names.
Okay. We have Jonathan Spurlock. He's also with Middle Tennessee Natural Gas. We have Kevin Mooneyham, Chief of Police, Mike Underhill, Fire Chief of the county, Bill Johnson, who's Chief of Woodbury, Darrell Young, who's the Sheriff, Tim Bell, who's Rescue Squad, Roy Sullivan, which is 911, Chris Blackburn, which is Chief of Auburntown. Ricky Cope, Ambulance Service, Alan Pascal with the city, John Barker with Middle Tennessee Electric Company, and then a representative of DTC, which will be later named. You got it? These are the names that we're recommending, unless somebody has a no. These are the ones that we're recommending to be on this Homeland Security Committee.
I'll make a motion to adopt those names.
Okay, and is there a second? Kevin, Jim made it and Kevin seconded, and call a roll, please.
Art Barker.
Yes.
Russell Reed.
Yes.
Al Hollingsworth. Jimmy Mingle.
Yes.
Jim Bush.
Yes.
Kevin George.
Yes.
Tony Neal.
Yes.
Kevin Mooneyham.
Yes.
Bob Stubbs.
Yes. Now that we have talked about this, do I have a motion to accept the minutes from last meeting, October?
I make a motion to accept.
Second.
Second by Jimmy Mingle. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay, at this time, we have any committee reports? Anyone in the audience on a committee that needs to report to the board here?
Thea, do you have anything on the waste management?
No, I haven't. I had a communication with Kilrea some time ago, but it was about going to Smith County and to take a look at their landfill with the possibility of it being an affordable alternative for us. But we haven't gotten together because I didn't call her back. I still am not clear in my mind, I guess, what I'm shooting for. I can't ask Kim to put lots and lots of time in all of the options. And if you would clarify for me what I should be looking at, I don't think you are interested in allowing someone to run the transfer station and allow out of county trash. Am I correct about that, or is that?
No, one of the things that I took from you, when you brought in this lady from East Tennessee, that, what's her name, Kim?
Kim, yeah, she works for the state.
We were, I think, expecting that we were going to get some kind of recommendation from her.
I think that she has to have more pointed instructions, because if you just ask for her to do go from one end is having a transfer station that outside private entities will bid on, and they'll run it entirely, and we'll allow any out of county trash to come in and out. That would be one direction she'd look at, and that would be certain private haulers that she would investigate. If we want, at the opposite end of it, if we want to keep everything within our own space, but work on a redesign program for the existing area, and look at opportunities for other haulers, or what we collect, or who we bid with. That's another end. But I don't think it's a direct enough request to have her do the whole thing.
Okay, initially what we're looking at, for the taxpayers buying for the buck, we want to know what is the cheapest for the taxpayers of this county, which route we need to go money. Whether it be an outside source, whether we do it, whatever is the cheapest route to go to get our waste handled. That's what the commission is looking for.
That part is clear enough. Are you willing to give up having just your own trash taken care of, and having out-of-county trash come through, since we are a transfer station? If that's the most...
I don't think, I am not
I really don't
blindly saying that we're going to give something up when we don't know what we're going to get in return.
And then the hours of operation would be in consideration for the citizens, I think. You know, yes, the taxpayer wants the biggest bang for their buck, but they also want some convenience to be in it. You'd hate to, you know, give it to the lowest bidder and tell them, well, you keep it open so many hours a week, and then they pick the hours a week that the citizens
Right.
couldn't take their trash because they're all at work. You know, that would be a consideration also.
They pay for it. They pay for the convenience.
Yeah, that's right.
Right now they are.
Right now, they're paying for, you know, several hours a week being
About 2
open.
cents every budget it goes up to pay for it. One issue that I'm on that committee with them, when you sit in those meetings, one thing that we are always constantly reminded of is that this commission doesn't run the dump. Thea
Right,
doesn't run the
right.
dump.
The county executive does.
County executive runs the dump. If you ask him, he'll tell you that anytime you want to hear it, he'll let you know that. So and I guess personally, I've kind of I've give up on it because you know there's other things worth beating your head against the wall for, besides something that you're not going to change. He's told us in the budget meetings. He's told us in our regular meetings when we're voting on a budget that he can run that any way he sees fit. So, you know, if the people don't mind paying for it, and even if they do, it doesn't make any difference because he's running it the way he wants to run it. He's told me that no telling how many times. So I hate to see you or Kim, either one, doing all this work trying to change something that ain't going to change. And I know that sounds gloom and doom, but that's just the facts of it. He ain't going to change that. He tells us that.
Right now, we're recycling cardboard, aluminum, and then metal, right?
Yes.
Those three things. What is the next thing that we could recycle that's most valuable, that would not, you know, that would... You know, recycling is good, but it can cost more than it makes. You understand what I'm saying? The cardboard makes money, the aluminum makes money, the metal will make money. What's the next one that would make money?
I think the largest commodity in tonnage is paper.
Okay.
And the markets have changed considerably in that area. When I first contacted SP Recycling 20 years ago, they said, well, we'll provide the bins, we'll provide pickup, which weighs what you're hauling off, so it can go against it will benefit you in the annual report to the state, but we're not going to pay you much. Well, that's been good enough because to this point, because there wasn't anything else to work with. But now I think it certainly is more to work with.
And I forgot tires. We're recycling tires too.
Tires are a great loss. And until they're handled better and with a different option, something as small as bidding as having a contract with a new person, you know, or at least negotiating a contract for a better deal instead of settling for what we've been paying. Someone to supervise that only certain dealers that have a tire number from the sales tax revenue department are the ones that should be putting any amount of commercial, you know, they're in business to take tires off vehicles and get rid of them. Well, in that process, they collect $1. I guess it's still $1 a tire. I'm not sure.
It's $1.
And because of that,
$2 in Roper County.
because they collect that $1, then they have the right to turn those tires in, and then the county gets reimbursed. But to my knowledge, nothing has ever changed with salvage yards bringing their tires in, and they are oftentimes the largest truckloads of tires. They don't collect any $1 a tire. They don't contribute anything but more cost to the county. But that's an uncomfortable area to ask these companies not to bring their tires or to even tell them they're not supposed to. And so it continues to be a greater expense.
The $1 was paid on that tire sometime though, wasn't it?
Not at the salvage yard.
not to carry it
Well,
off.
when it was put on that car, it was paid.
Well, at the other end
Not
of
as
the
a,
brand new,
no, not as a scrap tire.
another, in the brand new area, that's another deal. The
They
dealers-
charge a disposal fee on the tire that they
On the
take
old
off,
tire.
on the old
It's
tire.
not on the new tire.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, probably what you need to look at then, if you were to ever have contact with her,
Cheap.
you just tell them that we're a little bit strange and that we'd like to have an alternative to what you said. You said the two different ways. What would she come up with when you told her about that? I don't know that, I'm getting like these guys mostly now, where I just want to be left alone sometimes from outsiders. And it just, do we make the convenience center something that people can drive through and know how to stack their trash and stuff, so they can put off their metal here and their aluminum there, and then tires here and be able to just circle around and do it, like we were talking about at one time.
It'd be great, but it needs managing, just like right now. How many times do I watch, the different times I go up there, do I watch those that are in charge, which they're not, I don't guess they're paid a whole lot to do what they're doing, but I expect someone to do a good job for the job they accept to take. To say, oh, our county uses that cardboard to help pay for our wages, so we're not gonna have you dump that whole truckload into the dumps, and with the others. There's no one there to say that.
They won't even turn away outside county people.
It's a big M word. Big old word.
It is just a very sad situation, but that's where I think,
We need to
that's
go, Bob.
why I haven't given up. I'm working with the community.
Yeah, I'm just
working
thinking
with,
All right, thanks.
to do more. Doug has something he wanted to say.
So I spoke with Kim, and basically what she said, just in a nutshell, was Kim just needs some guidance on what request for proposal to prepare. It's, once the committee met, it's basically, what does the commission want as far as, do you guys want, right now we got a transfer station that anybody and their brother can come in and just, there it is. Okay, do you want to do a request for proposal to bid out the transfer station as a whole? Just private company take it, private company can use it for a transfer station for several surrounding counties, which would mean other counties' garbage coming not to be dumped here, but just to be transferred and then shipped off like Lincoln County does. That's one option. Second option is, do you want just Cannon County garbage, but it basically be a convenience center, and we do a proposal to outsource all the management, the day-to-day, like she's saying, somebody that would actually stomp on an employee and say, hey, it'd be their employees, not the county, and say, hey, no, you throw that, no, you put that over there. And it would be, once again, the county's trash, it would be managed from a private entity, but it would still be the county's operation. We saw what happened at the sheriff's department, at the jail, when you outsource medical, and you let somebody who's over, that's nothing against the sheriff, but he's not hospital administrator, he's sheriff. When you brought in a company that was professional and did that for a living, took care of medical things, same with this. They know how to run something. Once again, you own it, but the management's outsourced. The third option is just bidding the hauling of the trash, which the state auditors are writing up the county repeatedly. Now, she can prepare an RFP for that, but once again, back to Kevin, the county executive has to go for that. He can just throw that in the trash and say, I don't even bid none of that. I'll take the audit.
He told us he's gonna do that.
So,
Before we move on, I got a couple of questions and a comment. Has the committee ever looked into getting a couple extra trailers, open top trailers, and put up there to throw construction material and household furniture in, to keep that out of the mainstream of trash, to cut down on the tonnage going out?
that's management. That's thing is,
I know.
The committee was looking into ways we were trying to find a way to make it cover itself.
Yeah.
so that you and I didn't have to cover it.
Well, but
But-
if you take that house, if you take the household furniture and construction materials out and put it in a trailer, you might
It
cut
won't do
out.
that like it is, Mark. It can do that as a transfer station.
Oh, yeah.
It can pay for
Yeah,
itself
it can
as
do it that
transfer
way,
station.
yeah.
All right. How much does the county charge these stores to go pick up their cardboard?
Charge them, they pay taxes.
You could do that, but then you have to haul it to a CD landfill, a construction and demolition landfill. And then again, and that's something we can do. We can get the rates from Rutherford County is the closest one. And see.
No, I'm not asking you to do anything, I just
No, I'm
asked the
just letting
question
you-
if you had
I'm
been.
just letting you know it's gotta go somewhere though, and that is a good idea, because, in the past, the rates have been lower, but I don't know if they still are.
But now back to you, Kevin, yes, they pay taxes, but that's a benefit above.
That wasn't my answer. That was the answer I've been given.
But, yeah, I think I know where that answer comes from. But anyway, that's an added benefit above what the taxes you get, because not every business gets that benefit.
I don't get it.
Well, we've had it on the table here just for discussion, so we're going to move on. Yeah.
And you want Ken just to write, we can write up a summary of each of those options and get that to you for all the commissioners, so you guys can have time to think on it.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And then give direction on what you guys.
That'd be good.
decide.
All right.
Glenn, got anything from the audit committee?
Did you want me to put you on the agenda to be able to, because I forget. Okay, you weren't wanting to get anything from the audit committee up here.
No, the only thing I wanted was to them to know that I had submitted the report of centralized financing to you at that point.
Right.
And I was here just in case they had any questions.
Yeah, it's my fault that it's not out to them, because I've been sick almost all last week. I didn't even get to go to the veteran stuff. I've never missed that in the last 20 years, so. All right, let's go. We got Darrell Young, Sheriff's budget amendment right here, and you've looked at it. Pardon me? Sure.
If you can, if y'all agree to accept it, except for the $555 that we received from GovDOT deals, I've got to do a little more investigating there. I may have put something there that shouldn't have been.
Okay.
If y'all could let us maybe put that on the next agenda.
I would just put the whole thing back on the
Just fix
agenda.
it and bring it back.
Yeah, fix it and bring it back.
Will that, is there anything that needs to be tended to tonight, though, that we? Okay.
That way everything will
Okay.
jive.
All right. We got on, from Mike Gannon, we got a county general budget amendment, which is maintenance and repair service to the building. That's an increase of $2,235, and then we have the decrease when we replace the doors at the election office per state fire marshal's office. I don't know if y'all have seen them, they look great. But as far as the rest of it, that's all I knew. Fire marshal was one that wanted that in there, so we're just complying with it. And we need to act on it.
That comes out of fund balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, fund balance right
That's what
there.
it
Yeah.
says.
Is there he doesn't have a maintenance budget, buildings budget?
Yeah, it's there, it's tight, though, we don't have, I don't think it has enough, it's sort of allocated, but I'm not certain.
Why is it coming out of
If
fund
it's
balance?
got, if it has 2,200 left at the end of the year, it'll go right in fund balance, so it's 6 1/2 dozen up.
There's a reason to have that budget there. Sorry.
Turn that off. You got beat by Missouri. Turn that off.
I know. That's the coach's fault there. That beat all I ever seen.
Yeah, I saw him drop that pass.
All right.
Now, we have a motion.
I'd like
Kevin, if there's a maintenance and building section in his budget, it ought to come out of there instead of coming directly out of fund balance.
Okay.
He might not get,
It's county buildings.
Well,
Yes.
county buildings.
it might have to, somebody might have to cut back $2,200 somewhere in that budget. That's what I do at my house whenever something pops up I wasn't
If
expecting.
it's allocated to do that, that's what it's there for, then it needs to come out of maintenance.
Well, I wish he was here, he could tell us.
Well, he's not.
The,
I'm glad he's
I'd
not.
say that they were not anticipating the state fire marshal's office costing them $2,200. I mean, this is absolutely unanticipated.
Right. I'm sure there's gonna be more to the election office over
And the
there.
county building, I can assure you this, that the county building budget is not overfunded, just for what might happen. So therefore, I would just put it on the fund balance, because if the county buildings budget has some left over at the end of the year, because you don't have as much maintenance as you thought you'd have, it'll just flip right into fund balance.
And you might have more left over than you thought you was gonna have a month before the end of the budget and go spend it on something.
I don't think they're gonna put any doors or anything like that in something at the end of the year. I mean, this is,
Nah, I can't go with that. It needs to come out of building maintenance.
But you set your budget on the previous years.
Well, it does, if you look up the top, doesn't it? It says maintenance and repair services of building. That gives you the account number right there.
that's right. It's an increase in that, though. It's increasing the building maintenance fund.
Okay, now you're asking if where did
decreasing the fund
that,
balance.
Taking the money out of the fund balance and putting it over into his fund.
right?
The money should just come out of that,
Out of the fund.
out of that 335 fund.
All right.
Have you got your budget, Russell? What, this number right here?
Which one? The
No.
51,800?
51,800-335. How many dollars is in that?
335.
You know what you're looking for.
32,000.
335. 32,000's in that line item. Maintenance and repair service on buildings.
How much been spent
32,000.
today?
Last year, we spent 40,000 in an actual audited figure. 40,000 was spent. So we've underfunded it from what was actually audited by $8,000.
40,500.
And then 40,550 that's not audited, but that's what we estimate that we did spend last year in maintenance and repair on the buildings.
So he's got the money there.
We got 32,000, but we got, well, probably, Tony, we'll probably spend how much?
Says here, $40,500.
That's right, and we just put 32 in there, see? Trying to cut every corner we could cut.
That's what we
just
spent
put
last
32
year.
in there, so that's why.
$40,500.
Is that an annex off the courthouse? Is that part of the courthouse?
What, election office? I don't know whether it's called that or not. It's
We
just-
got, because there's earmark money that comes in. I don't know,
For the election commission.
yes, not for the election commission, but for the courthouse. And that gives us, trying to think where'd it come from. It's a lit tax of some kind.
Yeah, that litigation tax that goes to keep the courthouse up.
Yeah,
It'll be over here in your revenue zone.
that's right.
And it just goes into the big pile of money, and then you just divvy it up.
It goes in the general fund.
Every time how much money is that thing showing in the fund balance at the end of this thing, this year?
This year,
115,000?
under county buildings?
No, our total fund
Entire
balance.
budget.
Oh,
Just 115, ain't it?
112.
112. And now you're at 110.
That's right.
It's just $2,000, I know, but I don't want to be sitting up here come August and well, we only had $60,000 because y'all cut it so close. But when you get to looking at it and go back through all these amendments, it's because there was $60,000 worth of amendments come out of the fund balance. And it's just $2,000.
Well, and don't
But you can
forget-
get broke on $2,000 at a time.
And don't forget about them lawsuits and everything too.
Yeah.
And the fire marshal he can stop something.
Well, I mean, we're not talking
There may
about
be
not
some, there
paying.
may be another building that might not need that something at the end of this year that we need to spend our money on right quick so we don't lose it. And don't act like that don't happen. We all know it does. But, I mean, we just need to vote on it.
But I mean, you know, it needs to come out of the maintenance.
Since the maintenance budget is $8,000 shorter than we spent last year, I'll make a recommendation that we pull it out of fund balance because it was totally unanticipated. Nobody on the budget committee could have anticipated it, but here it is because of the fire marshal.
And that.
Your budget's the same as it was last year?
The fund budget is.
Lower than it was last year, ain't it?
Yeah.
Everybody's budget's lower than it was last year.
That's what they
32,000.
spent last year.
It's the fact of it is that that's
What they
his
spent the year
budget.
before.
And you got to live in that budget, or we
That's what
won't
they
have
were
that
getting this year.
115 at the end of the year.
You gotta tighten your belt.
Well, we've already tightened it. Well, we can
Well,
handle
no,
it.
whoa,
We're gonna have to
no,
tighten some
we've
more.
tightened it on paper, but we gotta learn to tighten it for real. And
That's just smoke and mirrors, though, to say that the bill has to be paid to whoever put the door in.
that's right.
And that's just smoke and mirrors to say, well, I'm gonna rob, it don't matter which pocket I pull the money out of, it's all the county's money.
Yeah, but it's in a budget to be spent.
And there lies the real problem.
Should we have, Mike should be able to tell us
There's plenty
exactly.
explanation right here in black and white. It's which line it's coming out of, which line it's going into, and why it was spent.
Okay,
And I haven't even talked to him today. I didn't, I just saw that it was the fire marshal office, and I figured that over there in that building, they tried to fuss about the water, you remember, back in, about a year ago. When was it, Kevin? They fussing about the water over there wasn't good, and the pipes and all this kind of stuff.
yeah, with this summer sometime.
There's been continual,
They're wanting a new
fussing
building.
over there, and then
That's what they
somebody called the fire marshal, or something. It may have been a phone that called the
It
fire
might be
marshal.
because the building is 100-year-old too.
Well, it's not quite.
How
All
old
right,
is it?
Bobby, we're gonna call for a vote on this. So
You got a second on the motion?
we gotta have the motion.
I made a motion to approve this, budget amendment.
Who's
I'll
second?
second.
Second by Tony Neal.
Mark Barker.
Yes.
Russell Reed.
Yes.
Jimmy Nails.
Yes.
Jim Bush.
No.
Kevin George.
No,
Tony Neal.
Yes.
Kevin Mooneyham.
Nope.
Bob Stutzel.
Yes.
Got 5. We gotta have 6.
Yep.
Motion failed.
Okay, we'll send this back to Mike and tell him that we need to have more clarification on it.
no, we need it to come out of the correct
That's what I-
fund.
That's what I mean.
Okay. I'm pretty clear. I just said I'm pretty clear.
Now, let me ask you something. On this next deal that we're going on these public, on these capital outlays, it says here that this letter constitutes approval, although that we failed, and I don't know if it was us or Mike, failed to be able to do the follow-up paperwork that goes on. But my question is this: every time we have to vote, Bobby, on a big item of money, we have to have the majority of all 10.
You have to have 7 now, I believe.
Right, so that's 7. So we get Mooneyham fixing to leave.
Well, excuse him before he leaves.
Go ahead and vote on it. Well, it's fine.
Yeah. Well,
I hate to hear it.
I know that, on one thing that we're doing, Mooneyham and I think Higgins was out, and we did one, and Bobby called and said it failed. And I said, how could it fail? We had so much. And there was a state person here that Bobby called up and showed me. Anytime that you do a big money item, it's the majority of all 10, no matter if there was 8 here or 7 here. You gotta have 7 on it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can leave.
8. I hadn't voted yet.
Well, we haven't called for a vote.
If I leave, you ain't gonna have a 6.
1, 2,
Well, I'm
3,
7
4,
here,
5,
but-
6, 7.
But somebody might vote against it.
Just go ahead and vote.
We're here.
Let's vote on it.
Who made the motion?
I think I'm in the budget.
Nobody made a motion yet.
Nobody's made one yet.
No one's made one yet, and I thought we'd get a little bit more information about this. If y'all know anything about it, I got Doug Bodry over here that can tell us a little bit about it.
The
Because
only
I'm
issue
still,
I got with these is the fact that we're having to vote on them again.
Amen.
Yeah,
Why are
we've
we
done
having to
approved
vote on
on
this
one.
again,
Now,
Doug? Can you explain that?
We can get into all that, it's because some of this paperwork wasn't done right. And I don't know who didn't do it or did do it, but we can fix that pretty easy. If we have,
I
if
asked
we
that
can get
question.
Doug to set us up a checklist,
yes,
and straight from our,
policy.
right, straight from our policy.
Yeah, our debt
And
management.
then every time we start to vote on any kind of money, we throw that checklist out there, and if everything's not checked off and signed off by the county executive, we don't vote.
Here, here.
How's that sound to y'all?
Sounds like a deal to me.
All right.
I don't like doing stuff
Too
twice.
simple, it won't work.
It's crap. Well, it makes, it just shows everybody that we don't halfway know what we're doing. I don't like it.
Me neither.
Me neither.
So can you
All
get that, Doug?
Bring it next month.
Bring it next meeting, and Bob's gonna keep it, and we're gonna,
Well, you know, I know the sheriff is waiting on his cars, his patrol cars, and everybody else is waiting on their stuff, so let's go ahead and call for a vote on this,
I'll make a motion.
all right?
I second it.
And Jim Bush second. Call the roll,
We
please.
doing them all at once or one at a time?
Yes, we're doing them all at
Yeah,
once,
do
aren't
them
we?
all at once, yeah.
Reed,
Yes.
Jimmy Nagle.
Yes.
Jim Bush,
Yes.
Kevin George.
Yes.
Tony Neal,
Yes.
Evan Mooneyham,
Yeah.
Bob Sutton.
Yes,
Sorry, motion carried.
thank
I'll
you.
be excused, sir,
You can be excused.
before the mayor strikes my leg.
Our next order of business is IDB. They're looking to raise their budget on legal expenses. Doug,
It's just.
Randall, Reed, or you? No, Randall's not here.
Oh, it's just a basic budget amendment to increase the amount on the legal expense.
And see, we have nothing to do with your money except for we just say yes or no. So they need more money. They're going to transfer out of their fund. It's going to be an in-house transfer. As far as that goes, it's not going to be us. We're not going to have to give them any money, but we do have to approve it.
Doug, can you explain why?
Increased legal expenses that we anticipate.
And why are we anticipating legal expenses?
As Randall talked about before, when we came in, we had companies in park with no written leases, which violates state law. So we're trying to get it legal. Of course, you need to get an attorney to write up leases. And so we're dealing.
Well,
with
that's
that.
why state laws are that way, because attorneys are the ones down there in the legislature, and they make the laws so they get to do all the business and get.
Yeah, well, one of the things, that I was at their meeting, and I could see that they needed a more aggressive attorney on this, and they talked to the county's attorney, which is Mike Corley, and Mike and Randall and the commission there agreed that he should be replaced, because they don't need to have the county's attorney for them.
For the IDB board.
Yeah, they need to get their own attorney.
I was joking about that, but we need to have a
Right.
written agreement with these folks, and then if they don't hold up their end of the bargain, you can either have mercy on them or hold them to the line and evict them.
Yeah. Okay, there you have it. We'll take a vote on that if we get a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve it.
I'll second it.
Okay,
I did.
Mark did.
All right, Mark Barker.
Yes.
Bush Reed,
Yes.
Jimmy Nagle.
Yes.
Jim Bush,
Yes.
Kevin George,
Yes.
Tony Neal,
Yes.
Evan Mooneyham, he's gone. Bob Sutton.
Here. Anybody have any other business that they want to be able to bring before the
I
county
got
commission?
one thing right quick. We voted to,
Remember, we don't
another-
do money.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We voted to approve the new Homeland Security Committee.
Right.
I want to make a motion that we include the EMA in on that committee.
You talk about making it one,
Combine them, Homeland Security / EMA.
Combine EMA and Homeland Security.
Right,
As one department.
as one, right.
So it really doesn't have anything to do with that committee.
Well, that committee will kind of oversee it all, you know,
Right.
but I won't put it all together.
Well, according to this, you don't have an EMA committee.
Well, that's why
We're
we
not
need
talking-
one.
we're
So
not
that's
talking
what
about-
I'm saying.
not
That's
talking
why
about
we
the
need
committee, You're
to.
talking about the departments, combining the two departments.
Right, then that way the Homeland Security will oversee the EMA too. Because it's basically the same thing anyway.
Well, it's a joint venture part of it.
Yeah.
Sure, sounds good to me. I'll second that.
Do you know what the motion is, Cynthia? Okay.
Well, explain it then.
Yeah, we know what it is. All right, call the roll, please.
Yes.
Russell Reed.
Yes.
Jim McMahon.
Yes.
Jim Bush.
Yes.
Kevin George.
Yes.
Barney Neal.
Yes.
Bob Stetson.
Yes. All
Let me
right.
ask a question.
Okay.
IDB, budget amendment, there's no, it's liable to be more than that door was. If you get a lawyer working $250 an hour, I mean, is there gonna be that much fuss about that budget? I mean, I want us to be consistent with everything we do.
Right.
right,
And that budget does not come under the purview.
And I seconded it, but we approved an open-ended thing, really.
No.
Okay, let's.
They operate from monies that they
I
collect.
understand that, and it's in their budget and they're responsible for it. But what I'm
Right.
saying
When they
is,
start using taxpayer money, you'll see me standing up on the table.
it's all money that comes from somewhere.
Okay, let's.
Sure it is.
And
Those companies.
they're tasked to take care of it. I just want us to be
right.
sure that we.
Why don't we talk
we
about
approved
why
that
we're at
committee.
where we're at right now? Why the
that's-
IBT vote now, why they're in the position that they're in, was because they were deals made that wasn't okayed by the commission. It was a handshake deal. No leases were concurred. They were paying no leases at all, no money. We were paying the electric bills.
Doug,
Now, and if you want to talk about
do
that,
we have
yeah,
to
we can
approve-
talk
do we
about that,
approve
but
y'all's
that's what.
leases? We don't have to approve y'all's leases, do we?
You don't have to approve leases, you approve budgets
Right.
and but the thing is you're correct, by law, they're supposed to have a written lease. And
That's right, exactly.
That's what
That's
the
what I
whole
want.
reason.
That's what the whole
See,
thing
That's the
is.
reason for budget, and I voted for it and seconded it. I'm
But
not
see, the
against
thing
it.
about it is, that's why they're in the shape they're in. It's not because of what they have done.
Out of this
How much
deal,
money is in the IDB?
How much money's in there?
Yeah.
In the fund balance right now?
Yeah.
Cash trustee, about 40 grand
Yeah.
right now.
How much have we lost?
$175,000.
How much have we lost, Doug?
Really no way to know.
There's no way.
109.
Hey, I got one
How
thing
much?
to go, and I won't get out of here worse than anybody.
$170,000.
I understand.
This is important.
So there you go.
All right.
I got one question before you do.
Okay.
Had a man call me, wanting to change the name of his drive.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay. According to, I talked to Roy before this, it's a private drive, it's not on county inventory. But in the past, they have okayed it before the commission. Well, why do we have to okay it before the commission if it's not a private drive? Why can't they go to 911?
Because we don't do it.
Let's change it. What does he want?
Jimmy, the 911 board sent it back to the commission because we don't think road names ought to be changed. Once they're done, they're done. We think they'll be left that way.
When you sit in the seats that they sit in, well, those tones are going off.
That's right.
It's so much easier if you've been running these roads for the last 15 years. When they call that road name, you know where to go. And people start changing their driveway names and their road names, and then you've got somebody having to call Roy and say, "Where is that road?" And he tells them, "Well, you remember it's old so and so road." You know,
I understand
still,
that.
you see what I'm saying?
That, but legally, you can't stop them.
Right.
I mean, Bob changed his here, we voted
Right.
on it.
Yeah, and if he's not worried about them not being able to find him when he needs them, that's his business.
Part of the problem is requiring anything over 400 foot to have a name.
Yeah, that's right. Too.
I've got one, yeah.
That's the
I
start.
can't even find your road.
That's the start of the problem right
That's what I
there.
mean.
That's why you got it that way.
That's the way I won't keep it.
So do we need to approve it or just leave it
And all these
there?
county fire trucks and stuff are supposed to have a mount in them that shows them where all the roads are at.
I'm sure they do, but you guys scare me a little bit without driving down the road looking at a map at the same time.
When I was on the west side fire department, there was one nailed to the wall. All you had to do was walk over and go.
And get the truck go.
You didn't have to drive down the
Who
road and look at it.
Just go ahead and make the motion, Jimmy. It's all right with me.
Well, To change the name of it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now, his name was Montane, Mountain with an E, Mountaine Jonas. And it's up on Short Mountain. The name is Simple Lane, and he's wanting to change it to Woody Lane. And there's two people on it, him and another, and he said it's agreeable with both of those now.
That's in the 2nd District, the north side of the mountain?
Yeah, I believe it's possible. Coming off Melton Ridge, big hill off Melton Road.
From Simple
there.
Lane to Woody Lane.
Yeah, that's what he was wanting now.
Sounds good to me.
So, why it has to go before the commission, I don't quite understand.
Well, because we have to prove it, so that the 911 will know that it's
If it's on the county inventory, I understand that.
Yeah.
But if it's not on county inventory, and we don't maintain it.
Got a 911.
Well, that's because of the 911, yeah.
Because of 911.
Did you
make a motion?
Because they changed mine year and a half ago, and I didn't.
Did you make it?
Okay, I make a motion.
I second
Change
it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
It's now Woody Lane.
Yeah.
Hey, what about the fire truck business?
I got some business I need to bring up here, but
Well, tell me about the fire trucks first, and then we'll. Do we have them all?
you want me to come on up?
Yeah.
Yeah, call him up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Bob.
Call him up, Bob.
Sorry about that.
Come here.
I'm practicing.
Yeah, okay.
When you get tired of it.
All right, you want to know about the fire truck bill? First, okay.
First.
Number one, let me say I appreciate the confidence in this position. I got some more stuff, but we'll talk about the fire truck first. Right now, West Side's trucks come in, Gasaway's truck come in. He promised me last week, East Side fire truck will be here by the 24th of this month.
They'll have a reason to give thanks.
That's on a Saturday.
Hey, you woke everybody up.
Yeah. But,
Need a mop.
that's the fire truck there. Okay. Since we took this position, me and Julio and a lot of us been turning our wheels, which we've always turned our wheels on how to save money and stay within our budget. The biggest thing, what we was wanting to do, every year we buy this PPE, our fire gear. Every year it goes up. And we was kind of looking at a way to try to save money on, like buying it a 3-year deal, which a 3-year deal was going to cost like 21 sets, going to cost $49,000. Bob asked to talk to Doug. We talked to Doug. The way it's set up, when we on a yearly budget, I think the best way to do this is stay like we're doing. We got a $13,000 budget for turnout gear. So I'm in the process now of trying to get a yearly quote for that. They coming in right now. One of our line items was our new desktop computers, $2,500. And to get the computer, the good quality computer, and all 7 fire departments, I had to go back like $300 over budget on that. But I think we was able to take that out a different line item, or do that have to come before the commission?
Well, that'll be a budget amendment.
Budget. Need to do a budget amendment.
So can y'all do that tonight?
No.
No.
It'll be under county general, Michael, is what it'll come through.
Okay.
We don't do anything concerning the voting of money unless it was already on the agenda.
Just
Okay.
get Diane to write you a budget amendment, $300 over, and take it out of one and put it in another.
Okay.
Yeah.
She knows how to do that.
Well, we done that really. We actually got the old fire trucks, not the 3 last old fire trucks that tore up, the old fire trucks that tore up before the other ones tore up. I think we got, $2,700 off that. And we put that into our budget. And I recommend take the $300 off that. Right?
Y'all sit down and figure out where to.
Yeah, just put
What
that in
did
your
they
budget
try to-
amendment. Say, I want to take the $300 out of here and add to here.
Okay.
That's all you got to do.
Fund balance.
So everybody's got their desktop computers now, done delivered and everything else. Also, I did get this week the gas cards for every fire department, where we can track every fire truck in this county at the pump.
Good.
Some of the departments said, I don't want one card. I said, no, we're gonna get cards for each truck and every truck, and that way we know what truck's using this amount of gas, you know, diesel, whatever.
We're supposed to have them for the county, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the sheriff's department anyway, I don't know about the whole county.
Countywide.
That tank was supposed to be, when it
Yeah,
got
we
empty,
voted to
supposed
do away with it and get cards for the whole county.
Right.
Yeah.
But there was $14,000 of gas put in the budget, putting that tank over there too.
It was supposed to be almost out last month.
It is that.
The big tank is empty.
Yeah.
Cause there ain't supposed to be no more bought.
It's been out for how long?
3 weeks.
Yeah, at least a month, yeah.
Good. So anybody that's buying gas on the county have to buy it with a card?
Supposed to.
Have to buy it at the co-op.
Unless they do like they did when I was on the fire department. You went in there and told them who you was and what station you was at. And
Well, that ain't gonna happen now. You ain't gonna get gas unless you got a card now. That's why
But
we went.
the
and got
main thing
cards
is
for every
you just
truck.
keep whittling it down with the cards and you get it down there where there ain't but 2 or 3 people buying gas.
Mm-hmm.
We're supposed to ID too. We're talking about that, remember?
Okay, can I ask a question, fellas? Now, when we done these purchases of these trucks and everything, and we done the salvaging and all that, didn't we agree at that time, I might be kind of fuzzy on this, but wasn't it supposed to go in county general?
It was supposed to go back into a maintenance type deal for,
Voted to put it at that meeting, I voted to put it back in the line item for the purchase of the Cascade truck.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
That's where it's at now, is in that line
Okay.
item.
No, actually Diane put it in maintenance, but she said that she can put it in that line item there. She said that was no problem. She just put it
Okay.
in.
That's fine.
That's fine. That's fine.
Now, the west side truck, I saw it going down Highway 41 south of Manchester last week one day on a trailer.
I think you just hauled another or 2 off.
No, okay.
Yeah. I just happened to be coming back from the parts run and, well, there's West Side's truck on a flatbed.
So,
I'm kind of like,
You've ever seen it run before?
kind of like Jim said. I thought we voted that when they sold the old truck, that it went back into county general to help pay for the new trucks.
We need to get
the only
the
thing I can do is if, just tell me what month it was and I'll look on my,
I know it took us so long to get there.
It's in the minutes.
Don't worry about it now, it's in the minutes. It's not going anywhere,
no, it's in there.
and we can vote to move it to wherever we want to move it.
I think the first truck we did, put it into the Cascade truck. But then when they got
Yeah, because we added it to their budget. I remember we added some
Yeah,
to their
I think
budget
it's
to buy
both.
a Cascade truck with.
I think
So
it was
Jimmy, you
90.
think both are true? One
I
truck
think
that's going
both
to
are
the
true,
Cascades
yeah.
and the others are,
Best I remember, because the first one we did because it was needing a Cascade for the Cascade unit. And I believe they voted to put it back in, and that would have been Gasaway's truck.
right.
What about Gasaway's truck? Their old truck.
It's still,
I knew it.
they're still using that truck to fill up that lady's
To haul
cistern.
water.
And then we've got our money for it, so we're getting ready to lay pipe.
Yep. They got the money to do that.
Good.
That truck, the east side's truck and the west side's truck's already been taken to the junkyard. As soon as they start laying pipe and they get done hauling her water, that truck will be going to the
Where's the
junkyard.
pumper at? The new truck?
The pumper's in the east side.
No.
No, it's at Moortown.
The tanker.
The
The
pumper,
tanker is what he's talking
tanker
about.
one is back at Moortown.
Back at Moortown, yeah.
The Moortown's pumper.
It's at east side right
It's the
now.
east side.
And they
What
got-
we done when, that's why you got their new truck, that truck went to east side, Moortown got the tanker back.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the deal.
That's where it's supposed to be.
And, my last thing is, I'd like to y'all consider me appoint maybe a county assistant chief, maybe where he can be there and kind of be in charge of whatever needs to be in charge of, like in my absence.
That would be internal, isn't it?
I think so.
That they do that themselves?
Up to the fire board? I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I mean,
Appointed
it'll be
the
up
county
to,
fire chief, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we appointed you to do the job that needs to be done, so if you need an assistant, then that's what you need to do.
Okay. I didn't know if
Do
y'all
you
needed
agree?
to approve that or not.
exactly.
Mhm. Yeah, that had nothing, we don't have to prove that.
Okay. I just make sure. Any
So
more
it's
questions?
whoever you authorize to do your bidding if in your absence.
Pick a good one, because we're gonna blame it on you if they do something.
That's what I want. I need
They
somebody
never
blame
blame it
I
on the
need somebody-
assistant coach. I say that we adjourn if you're done.
I'm done. If y'all ain't got more questions.
I'll second it motion. All in favor?
Aye.